So I've been using the Apple Watch Ultra 2 in the titanium black for a couple of weeks now. And there are some things that I really do like about it, and there are some things that I don't know if it's worth the trade-off. So I just want to start with the activities. The activities, I really do like having the action button, mainly because when you press that action button, I don't have to mess around in the settings and double click button, blah, 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 blah. So I find it really nice to be able to use. It's quick and easy. You just press the button, bang, into your activities, and then you can kind of do whatever you need to do. So that's a win for me. The second win I really liked was just the flat screen. I'm not a fan of the curves. I do bang the watch sometimes on the wall because I'm a bit clumsy, and just boom, and you get scratches and all sorts of crap on the side. So having the more rougher titanium sort of edges and with the screen not sort of going around the side, I find like it's just a bit more rugged, which the Ultra 2 is just more rugged in general. What I did really like is how bright it gets. So compared to the Series 7, the watch does get really bright. I can see it clearly in the day. The Series 10 also gets quite bright, so I'm really interested to compare the two and see how I prefer the Series 10 or if I prefer the Ultra 2. So the other thing I really do like about the Ultra watch is how rugged the scroll wheel is. It's a simple little thing, but I just find it's a little bit more responsive and it feels nicer to use. It's just a bit more of a like feedback than you get with the series watches. So just little things. The overall design, it would be nicer if it was thinner, but each their own. Some people do like the thicker, chunkier watches. So if that's you, then this could be a really good option. But I'm just not somebody that kind of prefers that sort of thing. After a while, it does get a bit annoying. When sleeping, using the chunkier watch when I'm actually sleeping can be quite frustrating. So when you're turning and sleeping, and if I like try to turn over, sometimes you can get caught on the blanket, or if you are one of those people that wrestle when you sleep, it can just be a little bit annoying. I do find that over time you will get used to it. It's been just about 2 weeks now, and I'm a little used to the size compared to the previous series watch, but having a nice slimmer watch would be a lot more comfortable. It's just not as comfortable, is essentially what I'm trying to get down to. I do like the flat screen. I do like the action button. I don't really use the speakers that much. The scroll wheel, that kind of really sums it up. Other than that, the big screen size is nicer, but the Series 10 also has a nice big screen size. So it really depends on what you're looking for in a watch. The battery life is mainly the only reason I would stick with the Ultra 2. It's just because I don't have to charge it as frequently. But now with the Series 10 having half an hour to 80% charge, so fast charging, in my use case, that might be all I need. Because every time I go for a shower and get ready for bed, I always take my watch off anyway. It's nice to like have a shower and just not always wear a watch on my wrist. So having that option to just quickly charge might be enough for me. So we'll see, because the activities that I do don't really drain the battery that much. I'm not running 20 Ks, which is where that extra battery really does come in handy. I'm doing maybe like 4 Ks a day and a half an hour gym session. So in terms of the battery, by the end of the day, I'm usually on like 30%, 20% with the Series 7. But with the Ultra 2, right now, I'm on 67%. And I started the day at about 80%. So I wore it overnight. And I did one half an hour gym session, and the battery's still good. So I could probably do another run and maybe another sleep before I'd have to charge it. So it really depends on the activities that you're sort of using the watch for. I will dive into some of the software features when I do get my hands on the Series 10, because honestly, the features are across all the watches mostly. So unless you're doing diving, which is a bit different because the depth reader shows you a bit more. I think it's up to 100 meters versus 50. And because it is a bit more rugged, they do have a bit more of those high-speed sports on this watch. But other than that, they do the same thing. I haven't found a real big difference when it comes to the dual frequency and GPS, and all that really means is that you're just going to get more accurate GPS when it comes to tracking in high-speed sports or running or whatever it is that you require that GPS location tracking for. The dual frequency is just a little bit more accurate compared to the other one. But in my test, it's like almost like the same, really. The time that I'm running in the same distance is negligible. It's like a few seconds difference. So I haven't found really in my use case a need for that. So other than that, the watch itself it's been nice to use. I am happy to try the change. It was good to try. And I think if you have the option, here in Australia, we have a couple of weeks, we can try the watch and then return it if we prefer to try something different. So I am going to actually be returning my Ultra 2 for the Series 10, just because I don't think it's worth trading off all of the slim feature. Now that it's got a bigger screen, it equals the same size for me in terms of the screen as the Ultra 2. So the Series 10 ticks those boxes. The only thing it doesn't really tick is the battery. But with the fast charging, I don't know. I do take it off before I shower, so it might be enough. I'm going to grab my hands on one of those today, and I'm going to test it out for the next couple of weeks and see if I'm going to keep it or trade back to the Ultra 2. So I'll let you know how that goes. But for now, I am definitely hoping that the fast charging is enough, because the size of this watch is becoming a little bit irritating, especially if you do wear a lot of long sleeve clothing and that sort of stuff. It does get in the way a little bit, and it's not as comfy on the wrist. And especially if it's going to be something you're wearing all the time, I don't know, I just feel like it needs to be super comfortable. Each to their own. Like I said, there are some people who do like it. If you're one of those people, then this watch might really benefit you because that extra battery life is really good. So yeah, we'll see. I'll let you know about how the Series 10 goes. Until then, let me know in the comments if you are someone that really likes the Ultra 2, not only just the design, but you do like a bit of the heftier watch. I'd be interested to know your opinion. And if you think that the fast charging might also help you. And if that's the case, hit the subscribe button. And when I do release the video on the new Series 10, I'll let you know how the fast charging goes and see if I think it's worth paying the arm and a leg for the Ultra 2 versus just a couple fingers for the Series 10. So I'll catch you in the next one.